I do be here. Cool. Good to know. Sparrow? Perfect. You're not dead. Not dead yet. Cool. Alright, so let me really quickly get all that down. Oh, cool. Something updated, and now I have different icons. I lost my speaker icon for you guys, and it's a little picture of your Discord profile. Whatever. Alright. That's good to go. That's good to go. That's good to go. I already saw that's going. I'm going to, I noticed last week, I'm going to manually bump Potato's voice higher because he's really quiet in the recording. No fault of yours, just that's how the world works. All right, let's do it. So, session notes, session 8. Let me jump over to the same page as you guys. If I had like, oh, I do have somber, sad music to start off with. Let's go. Manage audio. Where's my my all-time favorite? Grave of the Fireflies. Add to. Come on. Subtract. Add to game, maybe? Oh, that's why. Add to game here and then like this. All right. Okay. Let's do Roll20 audio, update, roll Discord audio. Cool. That's all good to go. Fantastic. Last time on Your Turn to Roll presents Tomb of Annihilation. I think I had at one point in time like Tomb of Annihilation had a different name for like revamped or something, reforged. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. So, through the night, you all fought. Raptors were slipping into camp, tearing away packs, leaving Sage and Parn with just about nothing. Fang briefly showed their wolf form to chase them into the night and try to grab the primal urge was too strong, so they chased them in the night and tried to grab a quick little snacky snack. But in doing so, your secret was revealed to the group. Running off into the night for fear of judgment or persecution, or for whatever reason, Fang sped off into the night, into the floodplains, further away from the group and further away from Port Nyanzaru. Then, the floodplain coughed up something worse than just raptors. A Baryonyx, a creature of about 10 feet tall, rows of teeth, long, almost duck-like appearance, snout, rose from the reeds, its jaws closing around a wolf. Immediately, your group thought that this wolf had to have been the wolf that ran away. It had to have been Fang. The battle was desperate, but brief, and ended in horror, watching Fang being dragged beneath the waters, the current swallowing you whole. So, the fire burns low. The rain begins to hiss into the mud, and around you the floodplain waits. For the first time, the jungle has taken something of yours. Probably not the last time. But one thing is for certain in your mind at this moment. It is not going to willingly give it back. So, we're glad you're here, because it is your turn to roll. The rolling thunder is drowned out only by the screams of anguish coming from around the floodplain, and the sight of flares being sent off with the constant rush of rain and flooded river.
Are we supposed to go after? Parn's like grabbing his axe, like ready to go out, even though he knows water is his mortal enemy.
Commit suicide.
Do you think that you and I can hold this?
I think our chances of holding our ground is better here than anywhere out there.
Parn
Certainly not
will
water.
shake his head a little and sad understandance.
You what?
Parn will shake his head in like sad understanding, like this probably is the best spot, but he didn't like seeing somebody get taken off.
So the camera sort of lingers on your group. Are there any visible reaction? Is there fear? Is there anger? Is there? I mean, it sounds like Zenthar and Parn are both kind of, and which makes sense because you guys are the business. Like fighting is business for both of you. Is there any sort of visible reaction on your countenance?
Nah, he's gonna stay stern. Like he's seen people come and go. I mean, realistically, no.
Yeah. I would imagine Sage and Lorelei are both like
Shell shock couldn't. Mm-hmm. Parn is used to seeing death, so it doesn't necessarily affect him in the sense of like, wow, that person just died. But this is now a team, a group, party, whatever you want to call it, and we're counting on each other. He's never had that before, but from what he understands, you don't just let somebody die. So he's really kind of confused.
Yeah, so the camera I guess just lingers on you all, the rain hissing down as the rain hits the fire. Now we said that there's a Sage made a wonderful tarp that has that sort of camping slant to it, so all the water is kind of running off over in like yonder location. However, some of it does just naturally, like you hear it hit the fire as there's some moisture coming in from around and splashing because the water's getting pretty high. Why did this not go on repeat? Thank you. So just
His roll 20 is amazing.
it is. I really do love it.
I mean, it really is. Yeah.
It does tickle most of my needs for a virtual tabletop, and I'll say compared to the alternatives that are out there, it's exceptionally better. Because I've played with a lot of them, and that's not because they like. It's not because I have any sort of loyalty to them.
Yeah, I have two main gripes. One, that they have the turn order right next to the ruler. That's just terrible.
Yeah, I really do wish I could reorder that side menu, because or at least I wish that when I clicked the turn order, it didn't auto clear the turn order for me, because that happens to me, and it doesn't for you for some reason. Maybe it's because when I'm in the jump start or whatever this is called, what is this, the jump gate?
Yeah. And then I wish the music selection was better.
Yeah.
I've started uploading my own, and it's like one of those. It fails 7 out of 8 times that I try to upload mine. So I just upload the same track.
Weird.
I just upload the same track like 30 times. That's my solution. I hit upload a bunch of times, and then one of them cleans, like goes through, and I just clear out the rest of the ones that didn't go through. That is literally.
I need to start doing that then.
It's the dumbest thing. And someday I'll make a recording of me doing it, but I'm like, click 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 hey.
I'm sitting here trying to like upload one, and I'm like, okay, this one don't work. Let me try this one.
And I always think like
it doesn't work. What
like,
the hell?
Like, all right, is my file size too big? Because it says like
yeah, because I'm like, I sit here with Pro. I thought it was not really a size like factor or something.
100%. So I'm telling you, like for some of my tracks, I try to upload about 20 or 25 of them, and finally one goes through. Hey puppy. And that's the ticket. Like one of them goes through, and then I'm good to go after that. I guess I don't know. It's weird. I don't like it, but yeah. So those being two gripes, those are two quality gripes. I have a couple, but I don't have a better way of doing it. Like I don't have a suggested better way of doing it. So I'm like, well, They obviously figured something out, and that's their method. And until then, at least I can play D&D with people from across the country, and even international. True. Speaking of international, Fang, do you have, when Fang is taken by this thing, the damage comes hot and the damage comes fast. You saw it when you came back with your pack. You saw it leap up out of the water or crawl up out of the reeds with a wolf in its teeth, and you came back with your pack or with a pack of wolves. Do you, as you like join up with your party that you were traveling with, through the city, and you're finally back in the floodplains out in the wilds, do you have any form of, how did it play out in Fang's mind? This thing crept up out of the water. You're used to fighting these dinosaurs. You're used to fighting beasts in nature. You're used to kind of fending for yourselves. But historically, you've done it with a pack, and this time you did it kind of solo. How did it play out for you? Like, you sit in this sort of like ethos space of not dead, not alive, not like your consciousness is hung up in the in-between, right? How does it, what is it, where does your mind go to in your unconsciousness here? That's the least eloquent way of saying anything I've ever said before, but that's where we're at. How does
got there?
I got there in the end. Thank you. Oh, I think
I mean, probably not much, I guess. I don't know.
Do you just sit quietly in the in-between?
Honestly, that seems about right for him.
Does Fang believe in an afterlife? Like, so separate from regardless of your religious views in the real world, in world D&D, it's pretty much well established that all characters believe in the gods. Whether or not they worship them, that's a separate thing. All characters believe in the gods because there is day-to-day evidence of them. So there is, like, you will see someone who prays to Timora and then walks into a hayfield and finds a coin, and they're like, oh, look, my lucky day. Like, Timora is the goddess of luck. It 100% it happens. I mean, you will actually see Bane, Ball, and Merkel create avatars in the world and wreak absolute havoc. So does Fang believe in an afterlife?
I mean, I'm not sure if afterlife necessarily. More so just like, I don't know. I mean, you die and you become one with the earth, pretty much. That's how I imagine how he sees it.
Is it a peaceful transfer? Because you don't feel any sort of pain presently. You feel a little bit of like your mind kind of swaying back and forth, and you feel sort of a movement, but it's kind of hard to discern what the movement is. Is it peaceful, or is it like a anxious anticipation?
I'm not sure. Probably something in between.
That's fair.
Honestly.
Yeah, that's okay.
Probably a bit of a mix of both.
Yeah, so Fang doesn't really hear the storm. You don't hear the cries of predators in the night or cries of victims in the night. You do hear the quiet whines of something. Like it's either, maybe it's the pack of your memories, maybe it's yourself crying, like, and not like boo-hoo crying, like a dog would cry, or like a I would say like a young raptor would cry or something. You hear this, and your mind sort of drifts somewhere deeper, a place between heartbeat and silence. Somewhere in the dark, you sort of feel the teeth of the Baryonyx, the big dino. You feel it like sort of drag at a piece of, not your body, but a piece of your consciousness. You feel that piece sort of slip away, as it's like something sharp is stripping something away from you. But as it strips it away, it doesn't really hurt. It's just like it's missing now. Then you feel like the rush water as it sort of pushes across your body. And again, the sensation is kind of dulled and numbed because it is like you're going between moments of unconsciousness and moments of like lucidity, followed by moments of just pure, this is weird and it doesn't feel like me and I'm watching me. You feel sort of a pull of the jungle itself, but there's something else there too. A rhythm that's sort of older than the words that you know, and you don't know very many words because your clan has not really spoken in words. Mostly they spoke in behaviors and sounds and different things that weren't really conversationally speaking. You feel the steady breath of the creature inside of you, and that's I think what your mind settles on. You hear all the rest of everything, the fangs on your skin, the water, the jungle, the cries, all of that seems to fade, and then you feel this deep sort of like heavy breathing, and it's almost like a pant, and that's a feat or a familiar sensation for you. Yes, doggo. Okay, go bug your mom. Sorry, my dog is needlessly affectionate, and I'll never apologize for that. So you feel this I don't want to say wolf, but you feel this beast inside of you, and it's just very sort of ragged breathing, but refusing to stop. For a moment, you feel like your heart sort of stop fully. Everything goes quiet, except for that. This sort of like ragged, slow breathing is constant. This perfect metronome. It's not a perfect metronome because it's an uneven breathing, but it's a perfect rhythm, okay? Then your body feels broken. You feel it again. This sort of panting dog speeds up a little. You feel it sort of like in the same way that a dog would like put its paws up on someone and like try to get their attention. It puts its like spiritual claws upward and sort of like rakes down on your spirit, on your body. You feel your body sort of like coming up into the air, and when you finally open your eyes again, you see there is a big hairy half orc, and he is holding the Baryonyx's bottom jaw and like punching it in the head, holding a jaw, punching it in the head, and he's shouting something to you, like, but all you can hear is kind of like, but the one thing that's totally clear is that as the beast sort of pants up its breath a little bit faster and more ragged. As you come into consciousness, would you maintain your beast appearance, or would you have gone back to your human form? What would your preference be here?
I mean, I guess I just assumed that whichever one he goes unconscious in, he's probably just gonna stay as that form.
Okay. Yes, you stay as
I guess
that.
I just assumed he had to be conscious to be able to switch.
Yeah, I would assume that makes more sense. You have to be conscious to do the switch. So I think that's a little bit better. Yeah. So you stay in this wolf form, and you see this hairy half orc. Did I say half ogre? I meant hairy half orc. As it's just like pounding on the head of this Baryonyx, and Baryonyx is like shaking it off, and eventually he catches it square in the eye. And you hear this like as it shakes, it lets loose the half orc, and slithers back into the woods. You see it kind of run off into the dark. You've got a little bit better view of it because you're kind of like coming into consciousness and coming out of consciousness, and then you feel that sort of like that lifting feeling again, as your spirit sort of like goes up and like, oh, okay, this is the final death. Got it. And you fall to unconsciousness as this half-orc scene plays out before you. But the rest of you, those of you who are in the campsite, aren't privy to any of it. To your knowledge, Fang has been taken away into the night by this Baryonyx. You don't know the name of it. It's just the dinosaur creature. You can call it a Suchomimus. You can call it a giant crocodile. Whatever like tickles your fancy. It doesn't truly matter. And then that is the punctuation of the night. But you're not done with your night yet. What do you? What's your next rotation? I think you guys, we had half an hour between the start of camping and the first the first like tiny dinos. Then you had about an hour's rest between the tiny dinos and the bigger baryonyx. You still got like 4 or 5 hours of nighttime before the sun comes up. Honestly, 1 hour passes. I think you're probably closer to like 8 or 9 hours before the sun comes up. What's your how's the rest of camp look? Do you rest? Do you stay up? You have a marked loss of resources. So
I thought more time than that had passed because Lorelei got a short rest. We fought, and I've gotten a short rest because I used my hit dice.
okay, so that'd be at least 2 hours, and then like 30 minutes for the fighting and breakdown. So you're about 2.5 hours in, and we said it was about 6 to 7 or 7 to 6. I think was like the so it's 11
Yeah.
hours total. So you've got about 8 hours left, 8 or 9 hours left. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a long night. The night is long and full of terrors. That's not the quote. I think it's the night is dark. So
No, that was a quote from Game of Thrones.
night is long.
The Song of Ice. The night is long and full of terrors.
Nice.
That's what the gods of or the worshippers of R'hllor say, because they light bonfires every night.
Nice.
There's the god of flame.
Shows what I know.
Parn will look towards the group. Do you think that the fire is a good idea, or is that making it so that they know where we're at?
Well, they already live in the darkness, so that would just make it a big disadvantage for us. No?
Is it your kind from the darkness?
That's me out of all of us.
I can see in the dark.
Well, then I guess at that point you would just look at Sage and Lorelei like, I knew Lorelei can't.
Lorelei, I'm not going to pretend to do Lorelei's accent because it'd just be insulting. And also demeaning for myself, and I'm not about that life unless I'm being paid. Okay, so Lorelei would say something about like, I can see a little bit of light. I can see about out to those bushes. Maybe the dead tree out there. Let me see. She should have dark vision. I didn't give her any, which is silly of me. Oh, that would change everything. All right, Fang, you're not dead anymore. I'm just kidding. You were
Damn.
you were never dead, but never dead to begin with. Okay. So you have the option to endure the rest of the night, throw up your signal flare, or anything else. Truly.
I know I'm getting towards the end of my ability to fight. That doesn't mean that I'm ready to call it. I'm just letting the group know. How are the rest of you looking?
I mean, I'm fine, realistically. I think,
I see that you also pack quite a powerful swing. I think you and I took the front. Only problem is the front's everywhere.
yeah. Unfortunately. Though I haven't seen it for a minute.
As the DM, are we going to be talking as if Sage and Lorelei are there, like to ask questions, or do you want us to just role play amongst ourselves,
I'll
as they
say
say?
you can ask them like resource questions. I'll try to answer and fill in based on what I know of the characters. But as it's only session 8, I don't really know how they want to play their characters either.
Mhm.
So I'd rather not make assumptions for them in terms of RP. But I will do my best to sustain the role play as
Okay.
best as needed. Uh, or as best as I'm able.
Does anyone have any tools or gear that might help us in this current situation? I lost my pack, and he'll kind of like gesture down. He's got his sword on his hip, his great axe, a tiny belt pouch with gold, and inside the pouch is ortho carving. That's all he has again. He has nothing.
Sage would look and she would point at the tree that used to hold her pack. That her pack is now gone because the raptors took it. So she has very similar accoutrement just on her body. We did say that she has her potions because her potions were tied across her body at random like intervals. And
Yeah.
Lorelei would express it like, "Oh, I have everything. Thanks to Taryn, I actually have my entire pack. What do you need in need of?"
Anything that would help us survive through the night.
Well, I have a mess kit. I have some rations. If you're hungry, I have torches if we want to light up more than one fire source. I have a potion of healing. If that would be, if anybody needs healing. I have the insect salve that we bought from that dealer in the town.
It's raining, so I would assume there's no bugs,
Oh,
insects.
right. I'm sorry. I read in the book somewhere that there would be. Okay, it's okay.
Sorry, that was me asking you.
You're correct. There's less
Okay.
insects because of the rain. You are correct.
I
Taryn will
think that might be helpful later, but currently it's not going to be very much for us.
Taryn will lay a hand on Zenthar's shoulder, not very like affectionately, just like sort of to like garner your attention. He's like, I think you made a wise decision, and it's not quiet like he's whispering or stealthily. He just says, very matter of factly, I think you made the right choice pursuing that person into the wild. Though the valiant thing to do would most assuredly be our undoing. If they're meant to be saved, then the guild will do so.
Most agreed.
And he'll turn at Parn, and he's like, "You do well to protest your discomfort with that. Loyalty is hard to buy. I've tried."
Well, if it's bought, then it's not earned.
Functions all the same, fortunately.
Obviously not, based off your last sentence.
You just have to keep moving the carrot. It's fine. Your loyalty is.
What
is
about
on display.
yourself? Do you have anything that could help us during our current predicament?
I did not plan to use many resources on this challenge. I thought maybe my allegiance to you would be better suited, but I do have something that would help us. Here, gather close. I have a scroll that I borrowed from the maester. Back in, he would know where he's from. I just have to look it up. Oh man. I am only looking it up because it's pertinent to me. don't want to prove that I remember my shit. Emic. Back in Emic. EMMECH. Cool. Here, gather close, and he will, move everybody closer to the campfire, and read out a scroll. And it sounds like he's reading, some like impossibly old Latin text, as the tarp seems to sort of like lift up a little bit as you are positioned inside a tiny hut, a layman's tiny hut, as he surrounds the party with this dome of protection. And he looks and he's like, I only wish that I had the foresight to cast this before your friend was lost to the creature. Anyway, this will undoubtedly make the rest of the night easier. It does not cover attacks from beneath.
We'll look towards him and be like, I feel like this would have been good to use prior to our current circumstances.
Are you aware of the cost of such a spell scroll?
Are you going to be alive without it?
I did not sustain any damage from that creature.
That's because we took it for you.
Yes, and I think that is how most people will assign responsibility in a fight. Listen, if you want me to stand in the front, it's going to go very poorly for you. I am not a strong individual. I am a magic individual.
What are the limits of this? And he won't even know what to call it.
It is referred to as, as with most spells, it garners the name of the mage who created it. Layman's tiny hut. You may just call it a spell. It's fine.
What are the limitations? Is it going to collapse if we get hit hard enough, or is it going to stay for a certain amount of time?
Yeah, I see. Well, it will remain for 8 hours, and unless someone is an exceptionally adept mage, it will not be dismissed before then. Now, being said, it will fail at defending us from attacks underneath. I had said that previously, but it doesn't appear like there are many tunneling creatures out here. But
it's a 10-foot spear?
10-foot sphere. Yep, 10-foot radius.
Would we have been able to pull any of the logs in prior to him actually doing it?
He would have cast it centered on you guys. So let's snap to center. It would be God, it would be hard to get a log into it, because I think if you wanted to get one in there, you could have, like, he could have cast it, here.
Yeah.
So the fire was in the corner.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of barrier between the ground.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he would express, like, I will, the next time that I cast a 300 gold, let's see. Next time I spend 300 gold reading a spell scroll, I will remember to. Well, I guess you didn't tell him about the log, did you? It's not like you confronted him. Why didn't you put a log in here? You're asking me, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So he will say, like, enjoy your rest. It is costly. I will have to recoup some of the cost if I can. It is not. I'm not trying to burden you with the guilt of that. Again, I offer my condolences that your friend did not make it in before. It is tragic. In the morning we could go and pursue them, but the guild will take care of them, surely, right? They said there's danger, but they can revive them or something like that.
And we know at this point that Zendar has some connection to the guild.
Um, I don't know. Have you shared any of that with them, Zenthar?
Connection?
Yeah, like that you were working in the guild's blacksmithery or smithy.
Like to this group here?
Yeah.
Other than Fang themselves, I don't really think so.
Okay. That's why I'm trying to separate my knowledge from Parn's.
Good call.
Right.
Perhaps we should take a brief moment to. This would be Taryn. We should take a brief moment to get to know each other better and then rest. I find that rest will be the quickest way to deal with this. Again, unless you want to risk life and limb to go rescue your friend. If we have decided not to, then there's no sense in delaying the rest. God's help them.
I think we can talk a little while we're getting started. You said something could come up from the ground. Do you think we should still set up a watch?
In my experience, I've never been to a swamp like this, but in the dead marshes, nothing comes up out of the water, so I can't imagine that these marshes would be anything. And he looks around a little bit and he's like, are any of you adept with the dead or the undead?
I've fought them before, but that was just for sport in the arena.
And you, Drow?
See, out of character, I don't think that's stuff that's ever done.
No, not really.
I didn't think so. I still don't know too crazy much about the underworld
That's cool.
or the undercity. I just know it's like insect monstrous kind of like stuff down there, but
Yeah.
I didn't think no zombies or anything.
So there's the Underdark is full of kind of I would say monstrous things such as like the there would be some demonic influence. A lot of the Drow in most like Drow cities work with demons because they like the what's her name Lolth has a lot of like demon influence. So they like to do that, like chaos, and the Drow are exceptionally chaotic. Like they overthrow each other all the time. There are different like insexual like the Dryder, which are like human spider hybrids. There are boulets, which are like the tunneling. You would probably a boulet would be the most tunneling thing you've ever experienced. They're exceptional tunnelers. But undead, not unless there happened to be like a really, a Drow decided, I'm going to go necromancy, which could happen above the surface too. So it's not like you have a larger concentration of them under.
Right.
So I think you're right. Probably not.
No, I don't know much on those.
Right. Well, that would be about the only thing I would be concerned of coming out of the ground, because the water table is rather high, and anything coming from underneath us would need to be both amphibious and a tunneler. And to my knowledge, catfish are about the only thing that do both. So I don't think we need to worry about that. And then he'll just like sit down and dust himself off and like go back to rummaging through his spell book.
Zinthar, I have a question for you. I have fought alongside quite a few elves in my time, but never one such as yourself. Do you share their lack of need of sleep?
Sleep is for the weak. I find
So
myself far more superior than those.
So you can not sleep at all, or do you go into the? And he doesn't remember the name for it.
Trance.
I know, but he does.
Okay, got it.
The meditation, like those I've been with before?
Yes, I sit here and just think.
How old do you think Xanthar is? Only important reason is because there exists in elven biology a feature called the reverie. And the reverie is when elves go into their trance at a young age. They experience the lives of previous iterations of themselves. Elves are eternal. They're like their spirit is eternal. There's only a limited number of like souls. They reincarnate as other elves. And when they're younger, when they go into this reverie, they experience the memories of previous drow or previous elves going back, and they learn from those. At a certain point, they reach what's called the drawing of the veil, and that is a momentous occasion where they stop receiving the memories of their older elven selves, and they start experiencing. They can still like go through their own life, but they don't experience the reincarnated soul memories anymore. How old do you think he would be?
Right. If I recall, elves can be up to hundreds of years old.
Correct.
So,
750.
I'm sorry?
750, right?
Is that the highest they go?
I haven't looked it up recently. I just know it's old. Like, let me see
Yeah,
if I can
100
find it.
to 750.
Okay, 750 sounds like a good number.
Okay. Well, if I was throwing a number, I had a number 124 stuck in my head.
Okay, so still relatively young. I mean, like across the
Yeah.
cusp of adulthood, because you have your family. In fact, your child would be an anomaly in elven society. Not to do like a full elven deep dive, but according to the lore, if we're going to abide by Forgotten Realms lore, a sign of a bunch of elves being born is like a heralding of doom. It means that Corellon, no, Corellon the Rathian, I think is his name, the god of the elves, essentially, whatever his name is, he foresaw that there was going to be a disaster. So he's like, you know what? We need lots of elves. So he would just send all the elven souls to the world to have them be born, so that in 50 years, when the disaster came, the elven armies would have more reinforcements. So like, if one person has a child, it's a celebration because that's an old soul rejoining the world that can make everybody better. If 50 elf children are born, it's like, oh shit. In 100 years, we're going to go through a really bad time. Now, drow are only slightly different. They still have the eternal soul, but they're cut off from Corellon, so that's slightly different. But yeah, so again, more or less, just a deep dive of lore for fun, because I think that stuff is exceptionally entertaining.
It is interesting.
Mr. Rex does a really good job of it. Mr. Rex is spelled Mr.
That's the one you sent me.
Yeah, so I like his videos. He does a really good job of going through previous editions of D&D as well. So he doesn't just talk about 5e. He talks about like, well, the reason the 5e Beholder looks ridiculous, or the reason the 5e Flumph is a problem, is because they went away from the. And he'll go into the whole thing. So I highly recommend his channel. It's pretty entertaining. So kudos to him. Okay, all of that being said, sorry, total sidebar, total tangent. Xanthar, you are whatever age you want to be. When you meditate, you can either go through the memories of older elves, or you can go through your own memories. The only reason that would matter is because you're family. So you can either be having memories of your family and their current state, or you can go through the memories of your ancestors, well, yourself in previous lives.
I feel like I haven't really fully fleshed out, but the thing I have my mindset on is like his past family, if not current. I would say they're more on like the wolf side of things, so he doesn't want to particularly like think like on that. So I feel like he would just try and just rummage through the past and just see like maybe the better side of things. Maybe there's still some good from this, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But trying to learn the stuff as he goes. I don't know how fast he cycles through the lifetimes of stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. I like it. It's all good. It's all good.
So would you be able to take some of the watch so that the rest of us could get more sleep.
Yeah, I can do that.
Do you have a preference for when you take your meditation?
Not really, as long as I get something for a break, but I guess technically no.
Um, I'll turn to the rest of the party. When would the rest of you like to, if at all?
I got a bit of a rest, so I can well, if it's no problem, I'll just tuck in now, and she'll like dong 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 dong. This seems well protective. I've heard from previous stories that these are common amongst she wouldn't say level, higher renowned travelers, and it is in fact in multiple instances of the book, they refer to this as the tiny hut. So I feel comfortable taking a rest. I'll take one now. And Sage is like, I haven't slept in a hut since my grandmother's house. So she'll like go over here.
A different type of stick material.
Exactly. This is what a weird composition of a hut. This is nothing like the hut. That's what she would honestly be like. This is nothing like the huts that I've slept in. This is more like a turtle's shell. And then she'll talk about how the one time she slept in a turtle's shell. But she was invited, so it was okay. And like she just rambles.
Invited.
Yeah, I love that she's not here. I also hate that she's not here, but I love that she's not here because it just gives me full permission to be.
You, in my opinion, nailed both of them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think
in
so.
quick
yeah.
succession, right there.
Yes.
Perfect. I said I wasn't gonna try to do Lorelai's accent, and then I tried, and then I wished I hadn't tried. Voice acting, like by just for qualification, I love doing it for a single character. For my character in a campaign, when I play in a campaign, I like to play that voice actor, that voice. When I'm DMing, I'm like, oh god, I don't know. No, there's too many people. No, I don't want to do it. Especially if I'm trying to replicate somebody else's voice. I see it in the professional ones all the time. Like Matt can play whoever it is very well. Brendan Lee Fraser, or Brendan Lee Mulligan, Brendan Fraser. Fucking awesome to watch Brendan Fraser play D&D. I'm sure it would be. Anyway, Brendan Mulligan does a really good job of playing other people's voices. I don't want to do it. That being said, they will all rest, and Taryn will look at Parn and Zenthar, and he's like, I do have a much less powerful spell that I don't mind aiding. It will allow me to target a number of you and place you into a magical sleep, so you may get more restful sleep, and you won't be wakened unless you need to be awoken for another encounter, another conflict. It is considered aggressive magic.
That's not necessary.
I thought you said we wouldn't have to worry about anything.
You shouldn't.
Unless it came from beneath.
You shouldn't unless you.
Why would we need?
Well, those, and he'll look at like Sage and Lorelai, and he's like, those not wizened warriors, or those who are not seasoned warriors may find themselves worrying despite there not being a need to worry. True comfort comes from a recognition of power, which I believe you and Zenthar both possess. Whereas Sage and Lorelai, he wouldn't know their names, but whereas these two may find it difficult to rest even amongst safety, for lack of a understanding of the safety of their situation. If you don't want it, I won't do it. It costs me resources anyways.
I will turn towards Zenthar. I don't think we need it. What about you?
We will be fine.
Quite. He'll like sit down quietly, take out a different book than his spell book, and begin like reading the pages. But there's nothing written on the pages. Like if you kind of ponder over, it's just like a blank page. But you can definitely track his eyes as they're going across the page. Like, but he will sit quietly.
Would you mind taking the first watch and waking me up in a little bit?
Is
Talking
this
to
towards?
Terrence.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Terran.
Sure. I can. I don't
Since he
plan
was
on.
sitting there reading.
I don't plan on resting yet, so please have a rest, Parn.
Parn will sit down like the as
Yeah,
he's
you got a
realizing he
pretty
can finally
bad
relax a
pretty
little.
bad injury back there, didn't you?
The old man energy.
Did you went down in one of
I've
the
gone
fights.
down twice today. That piercing damage is brutal. Being vulnerable to it.
Flaws.
They're fun.
It should help you pick out your enemies too. So like, if we're being honest, Parn should lean towards not like, hey, I'll be the tank against the skeleton over there with the hammer, like the spiky thorn bush. I don't need to defend us against that. Somebody else go fight that one.
Right?
So like, if we're being honest about your subconscious choices, those should eventually tie in too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. It's just hard when all of them are dinosaurs with sharp teeth.
Indeed. And some of them with very sharp teeth, right, Fang? Okay. Speaking of Fang, cold. Terran will agree to the first watch. He will look at Zenthar and he's like, "Do you want to rest now, or would you like to share this watch?"
We can share it.
Right. I do prefer my watches to be undisturbed. I hope it's okay if I don't talk to you the whole time. And when he says talk,
I have a word for me.
he looks at Lorelai and Sage almost like someone would look at a stinky diaper. He's like, talk. He's like not entertained by talking. And with that, he does not say a single another word. It's 2 hours later when he finally, like, the next sound in camp is the clapping of his closing book as he tucks it under his arm and he's like, well, that was pleasant. I shall be turning in. Would you like me to wake Parn now, or would you like to have your own moment of silence?
I'll have my own.
Excellent. Sorry, that's me, not him. He's like, fantastic. And he will look at you one more time before he like goes to sleep, and he says, I have the feeling your friend is not dead yet. It appears the night has not claimed them.
What makes you think that?
I have limited ability to locate creatures who are missing. I have a bit of your friend. When they brushed up against me, some of their fur came off on my cloak, and I found it. And I just decided that since I had it, and maybe it would bring peace and comfort to your group and prove my utility to you should I require to travel with you again, I just thought it would be beneficial to see if I could locate them. They are not nearby, but I did not receive the same sort of disconnect that I normally do when one is not of this world anymore. Fortunately, they appear to be, at the very least, alive. So,
That's kind of surprising, really.
I thought so too. It may be a blessing. Maybe YTtR himself is saving them. Which, translation, that's like saying maybe the Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not a Dolphins fan or an NFL fan, but
the Mariners are actually going to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, I understand things that are silly. He's saying that maybe the god that left the world chose to save your friend. It's widely accepted that YTtR just said, like, you know what, Chult, and then jogged on.
And he's long gone. You said it would be like talking about currently about the Mongolian Empire, still like very long gone.
Yeah, he's been gone since the Spell Plague. So that's when he left. So, anyway, widely accepted. He's like, maybe Ubtao himself save your friend. I don't know. But if it brings you any consolation, know that he is at least not departed this realm. And he will, without asking or like giving you a closing remark, he just closes his book, lays down on his book, and goes straight to sleep. Where do your thoughts go, Xanthar, as you are alone with 5 other unconscious individuals, and you are left alone in the dark? You can't even hear the rain hit the tarp anymore because you are in this nice little comfortable bubble.
I'm sure the heat's trapped in here too, so it's definitely making it like nice and warm.
Yeah, it's the writing of the text, the description of the spell is that the environment inside is a pleasant environment. You can choose whether it is, chilly or warm or toasty. I think he would just leave it to be like, it's drier than it was before he cast it, but it's the same sort of like, it's not as muggy. The humidity somehow is kept out and the fire warmth is kept in.
I suppose that he would. I don't know. I think that if anything, he would just sit there, just think on his wife and son. But I don't know if he would try and like think, maybe like be reminded of the voicing or something.
Yeah, I think
Because he hasn't heard from it in a while.
as you sort of like your mind, goes across all of the things you could think of, when even an inkling says like the voice, you hear, "They sleep, you remain awake, always awake, always watching. That is why you are mine."
I don't think he knows how he feels about that.
Would you even have saved him if you could? No. You would have let the beast feed. You know the truth. Survival is not mercy. And like the malice that drips from the word mercy, it's like they had to cough blood to say it. You shift already. It spreads in you. Do not resist. Embrace it. Step deeper. You will never fear again.
What shift?
You know it already. Rise higher. Climb further. The silk threads tighten, and in their grip, you grow stronger. This is not training, not discipline. This is becoming. You are more than they are, more than they ever will be, and you only have begun. And you sort of feel your hands ache, as though like your knuckles are trying to extend past your fingertips. You look across the light of the fire on the inside of this dome, and you almost see like sort of silken thread being drawn out across, and it's only in like the way that the embers dance across the inside of this dome, right? There's not actual like silken threads there.
Right.
But you see like the embers dance, and it sort of looks like a glinting of things, like it hits the, an ember hits the dome, and little things scurry away from it as these like lines trace behind them, and then it all fades. And you look down at your wrists that are exposed under your greaves, and you almost see like a varicose vein. And it must look weird on a drow, right? Because your skin is very dark, and your veins underneath have the same sort of blood. It's not like you have green blood as a drow. You still have humanoid blood, but it sort of appears almost like a blanching. You know what blanching is? Like when you pinch your finger and all the blood comes out of it, and then you release it and your finger's a little bit white. It almost looks like you're like someone blanched the inside of your wrists, and it veins out in this white sort of spindly appearance, and you are left alone as the voice sort of peters out.
I think he would just sit there and like not admire, but like just looking at his hand.
So, yeah, you spend the rest of your watch. How lost, how engrossed in it do you get? Do you miss waking up Parn, or do you kind of like shake it off after a little while?
What do you mean by shake it off?
The fact that you had a voice whispering to you. Do you ignore it? How long do you focus? You said you were looking at your wrists. How long do you look at your wrists? How long do you admire or inspect it? Do you get lost in the thought, for hours or?
I think he would sit there for a while, not like crazy long, but like I'd say at least a good hour or two. Just sit there, just like thinking on that, how it could affect him and his family. Like, I don't know about any of this, or how it could jeopardize like these guys that he just sees that are just vulnerable on the ground, or just anything of the sort. So he does kind of think on it though.
Yeah,
but after a while, I suppose.
I think the first thing that sort of like snaps you out of it, very far off in the distance, you see these like white peaks start to show up as the sun is glinting off the Cobalt Mountains. So there are to the very far west of Cholt, the northwest corner, has a mountain range, and the sun is just beginning to shoot over that mountain range into your like over that scene. I previously had shown this scene. Let me drag you guys here. So just over these mountains, way off in the distance. Let's see if I can zoom this out. Whoops, wrong screen. Way off in this distance, way over here, you start to see some sun peeking up over the mountain range of these the Cobalt Mountains, and I think that's what snaps you out of it. Is like, oh, you took a much longer watch than you thought. There's still about an hour till full daylight, so it's probably 5 in the morning or so. But you have your opportunity now.
No, I mean there's only an hour left, so I don't think he really it's not really worth it to shift into a meditate from this point.
All right. We'll consider the fact that you were like semi-conscious listening to this voice as having received your 4-hour long rest, because you only need 4 as an elf.
Right.
So we will then cut to you guys. I think the next person to wake up, because you're the only person who's present, is Parn. You feel the sort of the warmth of the sun, as also the spell fades, and you begin to hear as the rain drops from the trees to the tarp. It's not raining anymore actively, but the rain from the tree, that like the tree is wet and it's now falling on the tarp, so you can hear these sort of like as it is sort of making that concert of noise there.
Yeah, seeing the sun and feeling the warmth, I'll look over and try and see who's on guard duty.
Yeah, the group is not moving much. You have like Sage and Lorelei sleeping. I imagine Sage sleeps like like the least
Just
flattering.
like partly on top of Lorelai.
Exactly. Lorelei, I'm like, again, I imagine because if I know more about their background, sleeps very prim and proper. Like they fold their hands in a very neat way and sleep on a very specific side, and they sleep very prim and proper. And Sage is just like sprawled out, one hand on Lorelei's face, like just because they're not here to defend themselves, so why not take advantage of their situation. Perfect. Yeah, so the sun comes up. Taryn would stand up and just neatly tuck his blanket under his
Why didn't anyone wake me up for my watch?
It wasn't necessary. Besides, you look like you needed it.
I was a little out of it, but I definitely could have helped. Just to verify we did get our long rest.
You did.
Zinta, I have a question for you. I saw that you connected very well with that large maul of yours. How do you swing so hard and not leave yourself open to get hit at the same time? A lot of my fighting has unfortunately been around the spectacle of it, and there's been a few times now where I wish I could put myself in a better position to hurt something, but at the same time I feel like if I do, it's going to leave me with my back turned and I could get hit quite easily. But I saw the way that you dispatched those little things in front of you.
Be quite honest with you, I haven't really thought of it. I just, in the moment of life or death, I just give it everything I got. Maybe I'm just lucky, or maybe I just, I don't really know.
Parn will shake his head a little. All right. Thank you for your valuable insight. I'll give it some more thought, but maybe the only way to deal a little bit more damage is to take some myself.
Kind of try to avoid that.
Ideally, yes, but as I said, there have been times where I've tried, and I feel like had I been a little bit more reckless with my actions, that things could have been resolved quicker.
Right.
Well, at daybreak, would you go around and wake your party, Parn or Zenthar? Taryn's not going to. He doesn't give a shit.
I mean,
Personally,
if morning's there, Parn would.
Yeah.
I would say Zenthar would just sit there and just like look into the distance, or just keep watching out.
Yeah,
so Parn will go up to Lorelei and Sage and be like, "It is time to wake up. We have survived the night. Well, some of us at least."
Yeah, and there's I think, I I'm not going to assume, but Lorelai probably would have protested a little bit to not going after them, and Sage 100% would have been like, but we have to make friends. So it would have been like very hard for them to not do so. They would have been crying. So both of their eyes, for now, until they tell me otherwise, they wake up bloodshot, and there's like tear stains. Their eyes are swollen from the they only knew them for a short time. I mean, a day, literally. But it was just the idea of like, we let them get taken by the jungle in a very emotionally raw day. They both wake up like eyes swollen. As you're waking them, you hear the of the call to breakfast for the aspirants who made it through to the morning. You look across and there's not many of them. Maybe 20 to 30 different camps who are striking camp, taking their supplies back in. They are just going through the regular camping motions of like, okay, we need to make sure we spread the ashes, pour water and dirt on the ashes. Somebody else looks across the room, why are you doing that? Like, it's a floodplain, it was pouring water all night. Oh, I'm just practicing, making sure this, you never know, this could be part of the test. So they go through the whole rigmarole. You do notice there are probably 100 empty camps that the fire burnt out. There's tarps that are not collected. There are tents that are empty, that are not being broken down. There are bed rolls that are soggy from the rain. There is a...
Do we see the emerald claw?
You look out across. What do you... are you just kind of like scanning the field in general, just looking for them?
Well, we would have at least known the direction because we heard Quetley squawking.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking that way to see.
Yeah, you look that way. You see the Emerald Claws camp is broken down. They seem to have... they don't have an abandoned camp like the others, where there's a tent left and nobody's taken the tent. There's a fire. Like, their fire seems to have been spread and broken down, but the Emerald Claw are not there. They appear to be...
Okay.
Their camp broken down, and they have either left or they have in the middle of the night never set up a camp. It's questionable. So,
and then would Parn himself know the rules for gear? I remember hearing that conversation with one of the trials where Lorelai and them were arguing about it.
Salvage.
Just
go ahead.
Just because, you said there was a whole bunch of abandoned gear, and Parn's got none right now.
Yeah, there is. There's a ton of gear. So the laws of salvage for the... let's see if I can find the actual laws so I can quote them directly instead of telling you.
You have to wait 10 days.
Items received from outside the city bounds must be registered within 3 days or return to Port Nyanzaru. You have to prove that you made an offering, a tithe to the appropriate shrine or deity, coin or item, and then a ledger entry filed with the Reclamation Guild or Jungle Authority clerk. So yes, you can salvage anything. You just have to register it, and then if somebody has died, like if you're taking it from a dead body, you have to make that offering to a deity or shrine. But you can collect anything you want to.
I don't have to wait.
If you wait to 10 day, it is considered forsaken. So anything where if the person has been dead for more than 10 day, it is no longer like registered. You need to register the salvage. Sorry, a zone abandoned for a zone abandoned for 10 days or more. It's not 10 days. It's 10 days or more. A 10 day is the D&D week. They have a base 10 week instead of a base 7, so it's 10 days per week.
Okay.
But yeah, so a site abandoned for 10 days or more may be reclaimed if no kin or claimants appear to claim it. So you do remember those. If you don't remember them, Lorelai would remember them, and she'd probably have a print of like the rule of claim, the salvage law, the public conduct and dispute. She'd probably have all of that before she came here.
Sage, I know that you're a little light on supplies as well. And then I'll kind of turn towards the rest of the group. Would anyone else be upset if we tried to make a detour towards any of these unfortunate sites where maybe we could find some more gear?
Sage says, the jungle will provide what I need. It always does. That's where I got all my original things.
I'll gesture my hand up. I'm pretty sure the jungle is providing right here in front of you.
Oh, you're right. All of our other friends. Yeah, so they'll begin. They'll go with you. Lorelai is less keen about taking soggy, wet things. She also has all of her pack. She's not able to carry very much. She's already heavily encumbered with carrying her own pack, so anything else would put her over the limit. But
Parn would not run off by himself, but wait so that the group, he would make sure the group is willing to go with him before he did anything.
yeah,
And I'm not talking, go farther out. It's like trying to find, if we're, don't use that color. If we're right here and going to right here, that didn't stay. That was terrible.
You're good.
Just, a straight line along it.
Yeah, that's fine. So you see the way to get back to the city is a straight line, but with the water having receded back down to a reasonable level. There's still flowing water, but it's not like the flood that you guys were in. It's just not the low waters, as this is taking longer to wash out to one of the two rivers that empty into the Bay of Cholt. So yeah, you actually have like an easier time picking up the pieces of other people's camps because it's all on the high ground. Anything that was not in the high ground is washed away. So you just have you look across, okay, all of these tiny little moguls and hilltops, they all have something on them. You can collect as many ropes, mess kits. I will say any rations would be completely ruined. Ropes, mess kits, tents, and probably a collection of short swords and short bows.
Give me a number.
There are.
I can carry a ton. Remember.
So there were.
I'm
I said there were
100
100 abandoned camps. I think it's going to cost you some time to go to 100 camps, but
yeah, that just kind of along the way back.
Yeah, along the way back, we'll say you were the first of the group of two, the first of the second group rather. So you would be. Most of the people would be beyond you, closer to the jungle, because the better spots were not as far. I would say you would probably have maybe 15. So up to 15 tents, spears, short swords, short bows, mess kits, or explorer packs. Those 6 things. Let me put that into the chat so you can just remember it for later, and you can add as many as you want. Ropes, tents, mess kits, short sword. Wow, that's not how you spell short sword. Short bow. What else did I say? Ropes, tents, mess kits, short sword, short bow, and explorer pack. You can collect a 15, as much as you can carry, up to 15, no more of 15 than any one of those things. But you could get 15 of every single one of them if you could carry it. Meanwhile, I believe we see from the city a familiar Guchamog, the half orc, who is holding under his arm, looking out, watching your group go around collecting different things, because you guys would all go together because you said you wouldn't go without them anyways. And it is on the way back to the city. We see Guchamog holding under his arm, like wrangling a toddler in sort of a affectionate but also controlling way, a now humanoid again, Fang. Fang, you are you have had a rest, but not a restful rest. You have had a chance to recoup under the sweaty, burly, hairy arms, and like Guchamog has these nasty gashes in his chest. He has a his big sword that he said Guchamog the blade. His big sword is strapped to his back. It is again wrapped up in its sheath. I guess a great sword would have like a sort of like a blanket wrapping. I'm not sure. I had to look that up. Anybody know what you can't sheath a great sword, so you would like wrap it up in something so you don't kill yourself with it, right? Like wrap it in leathers.
If anything, yeah, you'd find like if you have that much to wrap up into it, but particularly, I mean, you could find like a small like little, not like a strap, but like something to basically just hold it at like the hilt, like the like where the I don't know what it's called.
Cross
It's like
guard?
the hand protector. Yeah, that. Essentially, I mean, unless it's but so big, then you just have a way to strap it at the center of it,
I like this.
like tighten it up on you.
Between you and I, we have half the knowledge necessary for swords. Perfect. Okay, so I'm imagining that Guchamog has like a bumper sword size sword. It is like comically large. The hilt, the handle itself, is like enough that you could have two hands on it, and it still has like room above and below. And then the bumper sword itself, I mean, it's a 6 or 7 foot sword. It's D&D. It's magic, damn it. I can have it be whatever size I want. It is a massive sword. So it's tied like the cross guard is tied like up here, and then halfway down, he has a strap that goes across his chest and around the blade to keep it at least close to his back. He just has to be careful. I will say that he'll wrap up the edges of it in like a canvas or cloth wrap, so that if he's walking past somebody, they don't get like their legs sliced open by it. But Sparrow, you awake this morning, and like the light comes in, and it's like, God, is that you? As like the light kind of breaks your rest as you are on your back, and this green sort of fuzzy figure comes into your view, and it holds like a smelly fish. It's a fresh fish, but it's a smelly fish, and it sort of has like that like end of life spasm where they kind of like the. He's like, "Come on, little one. Come on. Come on." Do you come to at all, or do you like feign death? What does Sparrow look like as you come awake with this half orc trying to bait you with fish? Did I lose you? I might have lost you.
They're muted.
Well,
Okay, sorry. I
there
think I'm
you
good
go.
now. Sorry, there was a dog barking. That's why
Sorry.
I didn't.
I know I
really-
had you on hold for a long time. I apologize, but we did get you back in here. So, as Guchamog tries to wake you up with this smelly sea bass or something.
I mean, I guess he'll take it and then he's gonna leave.
Whoa! You've had a bad night. I think you should probably rest. In the morning we'll find you. This is like a flashback. In the morning we'll find your group. I didn't see their flare go off, and I was at the ready, but I did notice. Well, I hope you're not mad, but I bribed a few guild members to scry on you all, and I saw that you were not doing so hot. I know that Fang doesn't talk much. What does your body look like as he's like not pressing you back down into the mat, like into the bed, but he's encouraging you to rest. Your body aches as like you could feel sort of caught between your wolf and your human form. You are human form right now, but like God, it hurts. You know, you feel like you've been bandaged up in multiple places. He's, you know, you now see somebody else walks in and they are applying different healing salves. Like, it's time to change your bandages. Oh, remember, just it hurts for a second, but it is going to help you speed up the healing. Bite down on that fish, and we'll get you taken care of.
I mean, he still takes the fish and he's still gonna try to leave.
All right, and that's why we see him like holding you under the arm. And I mentioned like when you guys were walking back, we see him out looking off looking from the walls. We see him like wrestling you, and he's like, "Don't fight it. We're gonna have to get him on the backside." Like, you know, they have multiple people like wrestling you down to put infection salves on your or antiseptic, you know, salves on you so that you don't get infected from the dino bites that you have. He's just like, it's not forceful, but it's not really, I guess it's not aggressive, but it is forceful. And they wrestle you, and you know, this is where we see you in the morning, where you are on the walls. You look out and you see your group coming back. The most perceptive of you, I think somebody has the observant feat, but it might be Lorelei.
I'm pretty sure it's Lorelei.
It is. She will look up and she's like, "Beastie!" And like she you know, hits Parn on the shoulders. "Beastie!" Or was it Wolfie? Wolfie. It was Wolfie. Wolfie! That's Wolfie and Guchamog. He's up there. And that's where we'll it's 9:30 now. So I'm gonna do the 5-minute break here. And we'll come back in 5 to do your reunion here. So 1 second. BRB transition. I want to get your mics on and the Roll20 audio on. Cool. As you are coming back into the city, you're going through Malar's Throat, and you are passing the Temple of Timora. There are many guild members who are going out on adventures, and they are passing through. Lots of them leaving little, tokens for protection from Lady Timora, Lady Luck, as she were. But you are all.
I'll clear my throat at that point towards Lorelei. Would this be the appropriate place to make some sort of offering for all of this gear?
Yes. Any temple, or if there is a shrine where you found them. Yes. I believe if you just claim you had some sort of donation to a yes. Like,
if you would all give me just another moment, and he'll pull out of his coin purse the small bone totem that he carved while he was in the gladiator rings in Day, and kind of take a deep breath and put it down and turn his back symbolically on his past.
Nice. Yeah, we see this sort of pensive moment where Parn walks up and takes a literal totem of what made you and where you came from, and you set it down. And is it just me, or is it symbolic that it happens to be the Temple of Luck that you put this on? Like, is there any sort of, do you think there's grand machinations in that, or is it just happenstance?
In this moment, it's probably happenstance for him. It was just the one that you called out, and he saw other people putting, things on it. So he decided to ask if that was an appropriate place.
Yeah, that's fair. So you drop this at the Temple of Timora, and a priest will walk out. As you guys are walking away, a priestess would walk out, and it's like, okay. And we'll pick it up very gingerly, and she'll take it back inside. And what you all don't see, but the camera sees, is she walks over to a special shrine, and it just has a collection of things that have been offered. Stacks of coins, because some people will give stack of coins. Other people will give jewelry, or they'll give totems of affection, like you did, something that is a momentous totem. So we just see this eclectic collection of things, along with stacks of coins. What's odd is that the stacks of coins are not removed; they are left there on this sort of like there's the shrine of the unknown soldier. I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's like that. There's the shrine of unknown fallen in the jungle, and the Temple of Timora happens to benefit from being the first one in the city, so lots of people make their gifts here. Yeah, good call. But we see you all as you're dropping the carved bone totem. We see Fang wrestling to get away from Guchamog, and Guchamog is like, hey you guys. I'm gonna get sued for that from the nobody who watches. So we see the big Goonies like Guchamog up there on top, calling you out. And at this point, he releases Fang. Fang, where do you head to? Having been released, where's your instinct to run? You are, let's just say, up on one of these bridges, and there's a neat little staircase that you could run down to get next to your group if you wanted to. We'll just say that.
He's probably just gonna go back to the iron, whatever it's called.
The brass tack,
whatever it is.
Yeah. So he releases Fang. You all see a bloodied and bandaged Fang, and they have when you see people with a shark bite, they have the very iconic missing chunk. They've been patched up and wrapped up, and there are chest binding, a thing, something that goes over the shoulder to bind this piece to them, something that goes under the rib to bind this piece to them. It looks like they were ripped out of this Baryonyx's jaw, and then recovered somehow magically overnight. And they take off into the city, headed straight for what you guys would, you wouldn't know where they're headed into the city through the south gate here. Well, the south gate. I keep forgetting the map is turned sideways. So, I think Lorelei would be like, oh, there goes Wolfie, and Sage would say something about our best friend, and then continue on from there. Guchamog would come down and welcome you all like, okay, you didn't die. Good job, Flowers, and the rest of you look. You got your first marks from the jungle, Essie. You got your first stripes. It's good to see that you weren't taken by the flood or the beasts, or we've heard a lot about the beast that was out there. Pretty scary shit, I think.
Yeah.
And how did you I'm curious. You don't have to share, but walk with me. Yeah, I'd love to host you at the ceremony, and while we go there, why don't you tell me about your experience? Regale me with your story. Taryn is like, no. Like, as soon as you guys get to this point, I think he would look at Xanthar and, like, without a, because you're the only one that's here, so it's really, like, fitting that, Fang's not here, they left. Parn is physically, Malcolm's not here, so he won't hear it. He looks at you with, like, a knowing, like, bye. Like, I'm out. And then goes off a different direction, going the same place as you all. But he looks at you and he only tries to get Xanthar's attention and dips.
Yeah, my passive, I would not have seen him.
Yeah. Meanwhile, because Guchamog is doing his best to be like present and boisterous and happy and celebrating you and walking you through the city, and is like, the new recruits. They didn't give up. Didn't set off their flare. One of them died, but it's okay. They're all okay now. And like, he is celebrating you. It seems like you have made a friend with Guchamog. As he's like, tell me, how did it go? What was the most memorable part for you?
Well,
The part where we survived.
yeah.
Yeah, lucky you didn't come across that. What are they're all calling it, the pluvial terror or something like that. Got a lot of them. I think we actually, the guild wouldn't want me to tell you, but I think there's actually 5 unaccounted for. Fun thing about resurrection, you need a body, and there's 5 that don't have a body so far. It's gonna be a long. Yeah, it's not good.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
And at this point, you guys see, I guess you would have seen it before, but Parn is late with stuff. I have 179.3 pounds, and I become heavily encumbered at 180.
Nice.
Damn.
Because normal encumbrance doesn't do anything to him because of his build. Do you guys buy this back, or do I need to go somewhere else?
Oh, yeah. The guild can pay. The requisition department can. The same one you bought stuff from can buy it back from you. They don't give you a very good deal, but sometimes you can barter it to other groups who need it. Unfortunately, most of the groups have already left for the day, so you're kind of shot there. But yeah, the guild will buy it back from you.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, everybody's going to be at the ceremony this morning, so it's going to be hard to find anybody to buy it right now. But it's not impossible. Listen. Let me herald you in, and by the end of the day, if you still haven't pawned it off on anybody, I'll go with you to the guild, and we'll get rid of that stuff.
I would appreciate that very much.
Yeah, listen, I don't know if you know, but it helps to have a sponsor. someone who's already in the guild, kind of moving around stuff for you. But I kind of feel bad about sending you to Armagh in the very beginning. It's kind of was a dick move. So I just feel bad. I'll make Nanti give you a good deal on that stuff. So yeah. Let's and then as you're getting closer to the guild, which I think we said was up in like this area over on the side. As you're getting closer to there, you see there are a lot of other people, a lot of other guild people like Guchamog, walking other folks through, attaching themselves to different adventurers. There is a sort of there's a whole slew of these. I think I have handouts for them. No, there's no, I don't have handouts. Okay, so here we go. There's this one. So I'm just gonna show these to you. Show to everyone. I'm gonna release all of these and then we'll talk about them. Show to everyone. Show to everyone. Sorry, this is gonna take me a second. Because there are a large collection of them, and these are all different, people like Guchamog who have attached themselves to victorious people who have walked back into the guild without sending off their flare. So I got all the way through Flask of Wine. We'll go Gondolo. Gondolo is with Farul. So I'm going to show you the same handout twice, just so we can have both their names. Hugh Hackenstone, you recognize this one right away. Parn.
Yeah, that was the ugly dwarf. Yeah.
Hugh Hackenstone, show to players, is the one that you had mentioned. He had saw you before, called you out. I believe I don't remember what he asked you to talk about. What he talked to you about, but
offered me a job if I survived burnt hands and chests that made me unsure of what he had lived through, and he was starting to turn to steel.
That's correct. There is a white albino dwarf. There is Yoink. Wow, they have a whole lot of these people. There's another Tabaxi. Sorry for the long parade of characters here. Yep, just making sure. And each one of these people has like their own sort of personality. Some of them are very boisterous, like bragging and heralding the success of their group. Others of them are very quietly just like standing next to the group that they've sort of adopted. I don't know why that's there. Oh yeah, I do. Okay. Cool. So that is the whole slew of these individuals. I have them all up on the YouTube, and they're like taking up the whole map. But so you see all of these different individuals. Guchamog points out to each one of them, and he's like, "All right, so that one, River Mist, they're a bit shifty, but I've never been a big fan of Tabaxi. They just they're kind of in it for them. But they are the natives of this land. They've been here for a long time. I mean, a lot of them claim that they can trace their lineage all the way back to Mesro, but I've never really been look, nobody's been to Mesro or they wouldn't have come back. It's like a land of perfect milk and honey. There's the dwarves, and they're they kind of keep to their own. And then there's the what we would call the humans, Azaka and Salida and Kawasha. There's a whole bunch of them. And listen, if you stick with me, and I'll make sure that they don't bug you. But if you don't want to work with me, just let me know which one you do want to work with, and I'll give you an introduction. Remember, I told you could go to Firefinger with me. I need someone to vet my successful clearing of it. It does take we need someone to. You're not in any danger. You just have to witness as a uninterested third party to make sure that I did my due. But if you want to work with one of these folks, that's fine. I won't begrudge you for that. See, looks a little bit disappointed in even mentioning it. But as you walk back in, you see Akene Afa, the merchant prince of war, standing atop the podium again. And he gestures out to everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to a very successful and joyous morning. We did have a very large number of you, and you can see there's like a small little retainer of people sitting in bleachers. They look like they are wet. They are downtrodden. Not just themselves, but like their spirit is wet. Like they are bummed, to say the least. And Akene says, yes, they did survive, and they had the initiative to blow their siren and their rescue flare. They are not disqualified, but it is. And you look around, and there's maybe like 20 to 30 groups of you in like the main courtyard. There are only a limited number of spaces in the guild, so they will be kept on a retainer. But those of you who have succeeded, please, a round of applause. And like they, there's a uproarious applause. I will say, Fang, this is probably the first moment you have a connection with the group because you ran off to the brass tack. The brass tack is empty. Your sponsor, your human friend, I don't even remember their name. Do you remember who it was that was at the...
I'm terrible at names, so no.
Oh, good. Yeah, I didn't write it down in my notes yet. I'll have to go
I
back
can't even remember names of people in my real life, so ain't no way I'm remembering game names.
I can't remember them either.
Do you remember what session it was?
I don't. Probably session 1. I mean, I would have at least mentioned them in session 1, and it's fine. It was Mama Suri. That was her name. Mama Suri. So I'll find her in my notes, but I can't really remember that. So Mama Suri is not there either. Like, it is an empty tavern. Nobody is there. You hear the uproar.
He'll go in and lay down by the fire, nice. I guess, like he normally does.
Yeah, you walk in, business as usual, lay down by the hearth. There's no food. There's no smell of like... normally there's the anticipation that food will be ready soon. There's none of that. It is just an empty tavern. The hearth is empty, but still warm from the morning fire. And you hear the uproar's applause. So we jump back, smash cut back to the guild, where they have explained. Welcome. You may all count yourselves, gesturing to the people who are in the courtyard, as official level 1 members of the guild. You are most likely paired up with a guide at this point, but if you require an additional sponsor, you may always seek one via the guild commissions office. We have many, and you look across, many who are willing to commission, and you see there's the braggart who was doing the session. He was like the alleged scholar who was teaching on Mesro. There is the Hamalotai, I think was his name, the gentleman who Parn witnessed at the very beginning, as he was the person who wanted to go into Yell Yark and get rid of the Batiri goblins. You see that the Wari Matembe, the Beastmaster, is there, and he is Wari's the child. Matembe himself was there, and he is like, he looks at you lot, very frustrated, like, God, I thought I was gonna. He's just like disappointed that he was gonna get a free dino or a cheaper dino, and you didn't come back with one, so he assumes that he's gonna have to pay guild rates for that now. But there's a collection of people like them who are additional sponsors who could pay for you to become adventurers. And he says, well, the mission of the guild is to explore the jungle, though we do have it set up in safe zones. You are not going to want to go beyond the safety of the zones that we have mapped out. You will need to stay with one of the guides, as they will make sure that you stay safe. As you are successful, we will afford you more opportunities to go to the farther parts of the jungle. But just suffice it to say, you don't want to go past what you can handle, because we will charge you to retrieve your body and revive you. So suffice it for you, for me, and for everyone. Just stick to the jungle you know. With that, I invite you, enjoy your feast. Enjoy your welcome to the guild itself, and forever the prophet for Port Anzaro. And like there's up an applause as he takes his leave, and you are left in the courtyard with a very beautiful feast. The people who you see on the sidelines begin to actively seek out the sponsors who don't have anybody yet, and they run up to the scholar, and there's 6 or 7 groups who run up to Hamalotai. I don't think that's his actual name. I think his name is Omo Latai. Omo Latai is the Yeliarch guy. And they seek out these people who don't have a group attached to them, and they try to plead their case to become guild members. You do see the Emerald Claw here. They are partnered up with, because I showed you all those different guides, I can tell you which one they paired up with. They paired up with the darker skinned lady with the red hair. Her name is Azaka Stormfang. As they, her and the Captain Quetley Knox are having a long, calm conversation about something off in the distance. What are as your characters are thrust back into this lively, protected and safe space, what are the two of you doing? Because you guys aren't really the conversationalists, as it turns out.
Guchamog is still right here with us, right?
He is, and he is stuffing his face, and this time being a little bit more careful about how much ale he has, because last time he got a little bit too drunk. So he's being a little bit more careful.
What does you coming on as our guild representative mean?
Well, it is my job to, I have to oversee a few missions of yours, and when I feel like you have passed a certain level of competency, I put in for you to be promoted, and from that promotion, you get to be a level 2 guild, and then you can have your own guild members underneath you, or you can, seek out deeper parts of the jungle. Here, and he'll take out a map and show you his map. Now I've been given permission to take you into some other parts of the jungle here, and I gotta be honest, Firefinger ain't a level 1 adventure, so if you want to go that, it's gonna be a little bit illegal, but I can vouch for you, or we can do some other stuff in the meantime if you want to get up your chops before we do that. So this part here, and he'll point at the yellow bits around Port Yanzaru, that's the tier 1 parts of the jungle. This part here, and he'll point at the red parts, that's tier 2. This part here, and he'll point at the black bits, that's tier 3. And then this part, he points at the giant gaping brown part in the middle, that's uncharted. We're not allowed to go there without special. We need to bring out a whole bunch of guild members with us, and we need to make sure that we're properly. We need to have multiple people to cartographer or cardi to map it. And that's we're gonna have lots of people who draw maps, and they look at Lorelei. Like, are you can do the mappy stuff, right? She's like, yes, mappy stuff. And so he basically says you are allowed to go to the yellow bits, the orange bits up around the 2. So that would be, I can't get my map to zoom in for some reason.
Yeah, I had to just physically zoom it in, but it's still tiny.
What a bummer. I'll try to fix that for next time. Open link in new window, maybe. Error 404, file not found. How about if I, nope, all right. Copy image address and then paste it into Discord. I don't know. Sorry about that. I'll give you guys a higher res file of that in our chat. Hey,
so when you come out with us, does that mean that you're going to fight with us, or does that mean that you're going to supervise us while we fight?
Well, I'm supposed to protect you. Now, I'm supposed to let you do the most of the mission by yourself, otherwise it wouldn't be that, proving of yours. You'd just be following me on a verification mission. But I really like to fight.
I turn to the rest of the group. I think that he will work. He is Guccimal the Blade, after all.
That's right. He like looks at the blade on his back. I brought it with me this time. I got Guccimal the Blade. That's my name, not the Blade's name. It's just called the Blade. But yeah, listen. There's some entry level stuff we can go. I heard there's a mission to run down the river to I think it's called Camp Righteous, maybe. I think it's Camp Righteous. We're supposed to go out, and they haven't had nobody's gone out to Camp Righteous recently, so we're supposed to run down the river and just do our standard protocol and check with them. So that's pretty easy. We could also, I mean, it's not a really well-paying mission because there's we're just running to check to make sure they're still there. But we could do that. I mean, we could do Firefinger. It's worth a lot of money. It's worth a lot of gold. Plus, I hear that we get to kill a lot of things. So, but again, it's technically illegal. But listen, you want to get out in the jungle? I'll tomorrow. I'll come up with some list of things that you were allowed to do, and you let me know which one you want to do, and we'll just tackle it. For now,
I think that sounds like a good idea.
For now, let's just enjoy that you passed, and you're in the guild now, and you're one of us. No more nonsense. So he looks around. He's like, I feel like there was two more of you when you went out. The bald man, and then the little wolfy one. Are they not part of your crew?
I'll kind of look towards the rest of the group.
Kinda.
The bald one, as you said, Taryn, joined us shortly before we went out. I don't know if we hold any allegiance to each other outside of what happened last night or not. And Wolfie, till we came back to town, we assumed that they were dead. And there was this creature that came out of the water and took them.
Yeah.
And we didn't think that it was worthwhile to go after. So, not really sure where they've gone off to.
That's cold. Well, I saw that. I saw they got taken, so I took a small detachment, and the truth be told, I went and I beat up that monster, and I took your friend, and that's why they're here.
That was you.
I just felt so bad. They looked so young, and I just thought that maybe, I don't know, I thought they were important to you, but apparently, maybe it was smart that you didn't, because it was a pretty bad fight. It had some young in a cave, real nasty business. Looks like it's breeding a little bit farther away from the jungle than I would expect it to breed, but, I'm not a monster. I don't know how that works.
How often have you gone into the jungle?
Am I able to tell, like, if he's bullshitting?
Yeah, go ahead and make an insight check. As he's like,
He needs to pull off his shoes to count.
Sorry, I got so many handouts right in front of me.
he keeps going back to counting at one. He's like,
That's crazy.
he's you believe that he's just really bad at counting? Like, there's no tell. He doesn't have any sort of giveaway about his intentions. He's like, oh, I've been here since. Oh, you know what? 1 second. He pulls out a belt, and he has punched a hole. Okay, so 1, 2, this many times, and there's like 16 holes in the belt. I've been on that many missions. I'm not the best with numbers, so I punch a hole every time I come back alive. That many times.
What secrets or tricks have you used to help you stay alive at night, or do you not stay out at night?
Oh,
We had a very rough night last night, and
yeah, it was weird. We heard a lot about that. People have been talking about the screaming and the the invisible rain monster. It seems like I was kind of. Listen, I got to be honest with you. While you guys were doing the morning stuff, afterwards we went out after the afternoon call and we cleared the floodplains of all the big threats. I'm surprised that that thing showed up, but you know the rains carry weird things here. So it was. We heard, yeah, everybody was saying they heard their loved ones screaming, and they heard all kinds of weird stuff going on, and then people would just disappear under the water. That I ain't never seen nothing like it. But normally we try to lift our camp up off the ground. There's the fog, the mad fog that comes in. So when you're up in the trees, it doesn't get to you as much. So we always carry climbing gear, and we tie off our beds up in the trees.
and when you come with us into the jungle, you would be able to show us how to do those things.
Oh yeah. I'll do it right away, and you can just copy me. It's pretty easy. You just need about 20 feet of rope, and a bed roll, and then maybe a strong branch or two. It doesn't really
So,
carry.
uh, just to, I took what you said, and Parn is loaded with stuff.
Are you? How much of this are you carrying with you, and how much of this are you like leaving at the door and like?
Well, so like that's everything that he had. Like I said, I'm at 179.3 pounds.
Nice.
He would always have. I mean, outside of this was just what I picked up along the way. He would always have his sword, his belt pouch, but he's like rope and a bedroll. All right, it's like I can do that.
Yeah,
Uh,
so we sometimes when we know we're going somewhere a little bit safer, if we're going to Fort Belloarian or Fort Righteousness or Fort Vengeance. Sometimes when we're going to those places, we carry timber with us because we can sell it when we get there. And timber makes it real easy to make a bed up in a tree. You just tie the timber off and you lay your bed mat on that. But it's all right. You want to make sure you're under the canopy because sometimes the Quetzalcoatl, the dino birds, they're up there, so they'll get you if you get out through the top of the canopy. There's the terror folk. We don't want to get too near those things. Once you get over by, what's that bluff over there called? I think it's Mbala or something like that. Embala. Look, when you get closer to that, there's the terror folk, and they're pretty nasty. I hear that's what's at Firefinger. There's somebody terror folk, and you don't want to be out in the open because they swoop down from above. So we make sure we're up in the canopy, and sometimes they even fly beneath us, and we get to jump on them. So there's a bunch of tricks I can teach you. I can teach you what I do. Don't not for nothing, but that insect salve. That insect salve and incense has gotten me out of a problem or two before, and that's not so bad. You burn some of that at night, and it keeps a lot of the bugs away. I saw a guy just go barking mad, getting bit by too many bugs. But listen, where I'm going to take you'll be mostly safe. The floodplain should have been safe too, but the jungle's the jungle. Thank goodness you only came across that big gator-looking thing. The pretty benign, I think.
it, and it still didn't go down very easily as you had to help us, but I know that myself and the rest of the group would probably like to learn how to set up a camp a little bit more and not have to worry about fighting to stay alive every night.
Yeah, I think that's probably best. Sometimes I just take one of them wizard things with me, and they put that little bubble up around us. I gotta pay for the days, but there's lots of options. I mean, there's lots of flavors for your success. The bubble thing you guys used, you just pay the wizard to come cast that for you every night, and then you pay the daily rate. I think it's all right, but there's lots of options. So I'll say, out of character, there are so many people. Like, Port Nyanzaru is a very, very diverse city with very high-powered, I would say, like everything up to 7th or 9th level wizards inside the city, and 7th or 9th level clerics. So, like, 9th level casters are capable of really good magics, like up to 5th level magics. You would have to pay them, but it's D&D, right? You can, if you say, like, I want to take a beast of burden and ride it everywhere through the jungle, you're only limited by your imagination. If you decide that you want to, you know what, I want to get on a boat and ride around Chult and come at it from the other angle, again, you're entitled to do so. If you want to try to, it's D&D, right? It's a little bit sandboxy in this campaign, so it's kind of like when we went into Avernus for the first time. I loosely led you through a couple different locations you could go, but there are a collection of quests that you can take on. Guchamog has suggested a few. I've tipped you to a few of them that are like about your level.
Camp Righteousness and Firefingers.
Firefinger, Camp Righteousness, Yell Yark is probably a stretch, but it's possible. I'm just telling you, like, out of context. It's probably possible, but it's going to be a stretch. It's going to take some strategy to it. And you can garner all of that by Guchamog's comfort with it. I'll role play him to just give you, his comfort level with whatever you're planning on doing. But I mean, if you said, like, I want to go find that Baryonyx and I want to go kick its ass, Guchamog knows how to get there too. So it's I want to go catch a dinosaur and sell it to Matembe. Totally plausible. I want to look up and try to find information about those missing children. Totally possible. I've sprinkled in some what are they called, hooks here and there. It's just a matter of what you guys want to do. I will say, you don't want to do nothing without Fang, or at least without Sparrow having a character. I don't recommend doing this campaign with 4 people. It's possible, but it's gonna be kind of rough around the edges. Yeah. All of this to say, in the by the book version of this campaign, there's a very rushed event that happens, and you have, like, I don't know, 5 days to accomplish the title of the event, title of the campaign, which is the Tomb of Annihilation. It is one of the most crash bang rapid fire campaigns I've ever been a part of. And I'm trying to prevent that by giving you other exploration things to do inside the campaign besides throwing the title event at you, which has not happened yet. So there will be a moment where we have that impetus of change, where, like, a big thing happens and it needs to be your number one concern. But much like Ganondorf doesn't take over the Hyrule Kingdom, but until after you do, the 3 entry-level tutorial dungeons, we're kind of in that stage. Yeah.
I think if you give us just a little bit of time, we could figure out which one we'd like to do. I know some of us are still a little upset with the way things happened last night, and they aren't talking as much, but I have a feeling that they'll come around.
Yeah, I mean, they must have had some reason they wanted to go into the jungle in the first place. Otherwise, they wouldn't have joined this here guild as aspirants. Maybe you can just lean on that, and it's a good way to make money. And he looks at Zenthar, who's, like, very suspiciously quiet to him. He's like, right? Make money?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
For sure.
Thought you. Yeah, listen, I mean, there's not a lot of money to be made as a level 1 guild member. Lots of these folks, he looks around, points at all of them. Lots of them are going to get hired on as verification, like I was trying to get you hired on, is just go watch me complete this quest, verify that I did it, and then come back and report so I can get paid. But truly, if you're gonna be a real guild member, you want to get out there and make your own money, and I'm gonna help you do it.
Hell yeah.
So
As long as we get to fight, I'll be all right.
you most certainly will get to fight. I have never once gone into the jungle and not fought. Dangerous place out there. Well, listen, I'm gonna let me bring over. I'll go get what's his name? Nancy. I'll go get Nancy, and he'll buy off your stuff for you, whatever you want to sell, and then you let me know, and we'll go get the charter signed for any one of these things. They pay you up front, so that's not bad, and then we'll get to going. All right. He slams his hand down, and
I'll look at the rest of the group. Do any of you need any of this stuff?
Sage has
Right now, it's obviously just you, Xanthar, but
Sage has no tent. She has no mess.
is a tent for one person?
Two-person tent.
Two. Okay.
She has no bedroll, which would make her not very comfortable. So she would probably need a water skin because she lost hers. A bedroll.
All right, hold on. Give me 1 second
Let me
while I
just write it down for you.
separate.
Two water skin because she's smart and she knows that she needs 2 water skins per day. A bedroll. She doesn't need any of the rest, so she just needs that. Keep it
And the
as-
tent.
She doesn't have a tent, so she would either bunk up with you guys or
Okay.
she'll need a tent. She probably can't carry one because she doesn't have a lot of strength. So, all right.
Does anyone else here have their own tent?
Jesus, gotta go look through.
Let's see.
And then, is the mess kit in this a metal bowl and utensil? Or is it wood?
Tin box contains a cup and simple cutlery. Box clamps together, and one side can be used as a cooking pan, and the other side as a plate or a shallow bowl. So it's
Okay. That's exactly what I was envisioning, but I wanted to make sure.
yeah. Well,
Okay, so let's see. The dude, he would. I'll take a tent and a short bow.
So, taking all the tents. And you want a short bow or sword? Sorry.
Bow.
darn, that's not what I wanted. I wanted the other attachment. There's my other handout for. It's called catalog, maybe.
How long does one of these torches last?
I believe a torch is hours.
An hour?
Yeah, I think it's
Hours?
yeah. Let me see. Torch burns for, and they'd be partially used. So we'll just say they last for half. So each one of your torches will last for half an hour because they're already partially used. Because they are
Okay.
salvaged. They're not like good, high quality, brand new torches. So. Man, I must have eaten a tortilla chip wrong or something. I screwed up the roof of my mouth.
That's terrible.
It's awful. Okay, cool. Goochmog will leave. You can sell any one of your salvage for only 50. I would say probably 30. A third of what it is worth. So round up, but like whatever you have there, you can sell it back to the Reclamation Guild for a third of its worth.
That's what I'm selling.
Cool. Let's see, tinderbox.
No, I apparently have a short bow already, so make that 10 short bows for one.
Nice.
Okay.
Tinderbox is 5 silver, so you can sell the tinderbox for 2 silver apiece. The short bow. Oh, sorry, I only saw the last text there. Short swords as well. It's a shop.
Are you doing this?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I got you.
Okay.
Short sword is. Oh, they don't have a price on that. Brilliant. Man, I have a handout for this somewhere. Let's do the shopping over the week. I'll hit you up with the
Okay.
cumulative sales, and then.
Are you going to use the same price thing?
Sane prices is an attachment for magic items, so there's no mundanes in there. I have another. I think it's in the GM resources at the very beginning. Let's see if I can scroll up and find it.
Because I have a D&D shop catalog.
Item list doc.c.
You might have given it to me at some point.
Okay, so short sword. Short sword. They're why can't I not find it? Short sword. They're willing to give you 3 gold pieces per short sword.
Is that the normal cost is 10?
Yep.
Cheap 7.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. That's called the item list. It's in our game resources, GM resources, or sorry, game resources. Cool. In the Discord. So, the only thing I want to do, because I don't want you guys to go out into the first mission without your full party. I don't even want you to decide what mission to go on without your full party. I want to know, is Fang going to seek out your party, or are you guys going to seek out Fang, or is Sparrow going to be... I don't know. How are we going to get Sparrow back? This is where I present the game. You guys are playing D&D. You have a collaborative group of people who are going to be adventurers together. That's a collective understanding. I don't want to burn too many hours trying to convince the group to stay together. You decide. Fang or Sparrow, is Fang going to regroup with the group? Are you going to try to reconvene with Fang? I don't want to devote too many, prepping hours into reconciling the separation. What do we want to do there?
I know Parn would be on the lookout for him, but I mean, I have no idea how to find him.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't think you guys know where he was from. How long would Fang hang out at the brass tack waiting?
I mean, he's just gonna stay there.
Forever?
I guess so.
I thought you wanted to go find your pack.
Well, I mean, yeah, he would like to. But he doesn't have anyone to go with at this point, so he has to just wait.
Well, let's add a serendipitous reunion where Mama Suri finds you lot having returned at the Reclamation Guild banquet, expecting you to have Fang with you. Notices that you do not have Fang with you, and will ask you to come by the brass tack later so she can petition you for some not so sanctioned but highly profitable mission. She doesn't want to register with the guild. She's willing to pay you premium so that she doesn't have to deal with the guild bullshit. As she would say very plainly, she's like, I don't want to deal. I deal mostly with the underbelly, with the not so desired. I deal with and Zenthar, you would have worked with Mama Suri a number of times, so you are familiar with her, and she would try to lean on that like, I pay well, I am reliable, and I work with anyone, even those who society has chosen for silly reasons to reject. Come by the brass tack. It's in the harbor ward, and I will pay you handsomely for your time, in the form of drink and food, and maybe I can petition you if you'll hear me out for a well-paying job.
All right.
And she will take her leave, and she's like, you know where to find me. And she will actually, like, she's one of the very few people who will refer to you as either blacksmith or Zenthar, because most people will just refer to you as Drow. And it's not like some people mean it. Some people mean it, derogatorily, but some people are like, you're the Drow. We don't see very many of you, so you're just the Drow. And she does not say that. She says, like, I don't know. Would you ever have given her your name, or would you leave it like a mystery?
Unless she would have asked for it, probably not. He probably would just respond to just Drow. That's what he's used to.
Yeah, your first interaction with her, because she does business the way she does, she would have said something along the lines of like, what shall I call you in our future dealings? So like she would have left the ball in your court to name yourself for her to refer to you.
Then if that was the case, then yeah, he would have told her his name.
Well, Zenthar, I appreciate it. Consider it an act of goodwill. I look forward to seeing you at the Brass Tack. I have something urgent I need you to assist me with. Good day. And she'll like take her leave and head towards the dock ward, the harbor ward. And because we're gonna be role playing with trying to convince Fang to rejoin up, I don't want to go any farther without the whole group. And since we don't have the whole group, I would rather do some housekeeping. Make sure that everybody is like set up on their update on the character sheet, and then put off till next week. If you guys aren't opposed, I know we're like super early and it was kind of a ho hum like process episode, but I don't really want to leap into things without Sage and Lorelei. I mean, the last time they were here, Fang died. Like,
So he did die.
I mean, they in their opinion, Fang died. So yeah, I'll let's go to this.